Well, we're finally back. Season 5 of the Rugby Connection podcast is now with you. We've had a bit longer off than we expected, but it's okay because it's all worth it in the end. We've got Rugby Championship done and dusted, so we're going to do a quick overview of that. We've got the URC, we've got Prem, a little bit of WXV, and I've got a very happy Safa with me tonight. Divan, how are you getting on, mate?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. I'm pretty sure as you just mentioned, we'll get into a bit of the rugby championship. I've got a bit of I wouldn't say controversial opinion, but I think kind of a hard take. But obviously, as a Sapphire, I'm very happy. You know, the rugby championship means a lot to us. Seen as just a World Cup team, you finally get a bit of that caveat that goes with that off your back, and it's time to move on to the URC, and I'm not excited to talk about this weekend's URC that just passed, by the way.
Never mind, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. We can suffer together this week, but we'll start off with the Rugby Championship. Like you said, you are the champions. How you feeling? How's it looking going forward?
It obviously it feels amazing, and I'll actually just say what I what I just referenced. This rugby championship, this win, kind of feels on par with winning the Rugby World Cup. And not in terms of prestige or anything, but both of us, we are social media guys. We do create our content. We do engage with a lot of fan perspective and stuff. And especially me as a Sapphire, I see it a lot where people only call us a Rugby World Cup team, but I also see other people comparing us to the greatest team to ever play the game, the mighty All Blacks. And even though I don't think it's fair at all to say that we are on par with the All Blacks, I mean, that was sport domination that the All Blacks had. I mean, they just took over the game, and it felt like an anomaly to see them lose. Like they never lost a game, but for us we actually have to strive to get into that conversation, even though it's highly unrealistic, but obviously want to push towards that. And the first thing you have to do is win the rugby championship after you've won the World Cup. And that's what I mean with the significance and the on par with it. Because now all of a sudden, okay, we've not only won 2 World Cups, we've won the British and Irish Lions Tour, we've won the full rugby championship, we've won the Freedom Cup, we broke this hoodoo that we had in Brisbane. You see, so all of a sudden things are clicking together. And not only did we play an experienced and young squad, it flew together nicely. We played some nice rugby. And obviously now we have to push forward to win the next 2 to 3 rugby championships before the next World Cup. And then all of a sudden the conversation takes a bit more heat. And it's a bit more of a respectable conversation to be had. So obviously we want to push to that. And we've just taken the first steps to that. And that's why I'm saying it's on par, because we are pushing hard towards where we want to be, what the ultimate dream is, to be the best to ever play the game.
Mm.
You get what I mean, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I like that you've not, because obviously you said that a lot of people are saying that you're already paired with that mighty All Blacks team, and you're saying that you're not. So I like that. I like the
Yeah.
honesty. I like the drive that you've got for the team as well. So
Yeah, but I mean, in that All Blacks team, how many games did they lose since 2009 to 2015? Probably like 5. We've lost 2 in 1 year.
like that, yeah.
Obviously, nothing. We can go the rest of the year unbeaten. We can still strive to be undefeated next year. I want to go and win the rugby championship by getting a clean sweep. I think we should have done it this year. Obviously disappointed in that loss to Argentina, but you're gonna get blips and bumps in the road. It's one of those things. I don't like the fact that people all of a sudden doubted us after one loss. I don't like this B team narrative being thrown around, because it's
Yeah.
not a B team. That's a lot of talented boys. We talk about our depth, but we also have to realize there's a big jump when you take out Evan Etzebeth out of the starting lineup, and you don't have Bongi Manambi, and you don't have Frans Malherbe, and you don't have Pieter Steph du Toit or Cheslin Colby, or the most underappreciated player in the world, Damien de Allende. Like, that is massive losses. So when you throw a bunch of guys together and you test out new combinations and you lose a game against a respectable Argentinian team playing at home as well, and lose by 1 point, there's no reason to all of a sudden doubt the the how good the Springbok team is. So I didn't appreciate that at all. And what a bounce back victory this weekend. That was a
Yeah.
statement. Played off the park.
Mm.
Off the park. I don't think
100%.
Argentina, respect to Argentina, but they were not in that game for a single second.
I think, and this is just a classic thing in sports, just all across the board, that I think Argentina's final was when you went across there the week before. And they gave everything to get that win and had not taken anything away from your performance because yours were sensational. But you know what I mean? Like they had nothing else to give, and you had
Yeah.
everything to give. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, people talk about a hurt All Blacks team, and we've all seen it that they cause absolute damage. But at the moment, a hurt Springbok team, you will get slaughtered.
Dangerous, yeah,
All respect to
100%.
Argentina, I was so impressed with them um, in during this rugby championship. Like obviously they were inconsistent as always. Some things
Yeah,
never change. There's rugby heritage, but when they looked good, they looked very good
yeah.
this rugby championship. Like when they were playing their rugby, I thought they had the most beautiful attacking rugby that I've seen in my lifetime. The fact that they commit like two guys at the breakdown, you can't get that ball, and then all of a sudden it feels like they have 50 backs on the field, and you don't know who's going to get that ball. But the chemistry and the flow looks so nice. I mean, they looked great. They looked.
Mm.
I think this is the best rugby championship we've had in years in terms of look at how close the games were. Look at how
Well,
I know the All Blacks had us under 10 points in both games. Close
yeah,
games, could have gone either
yeah.
way. But the All Blacks just beat the Wallabies in that first test. I mean, that was a 3 point game. Some people might argue the Wallabies deserved to win that game. The
Mm-hmm.
Wallabies beat Argentina, but also lost to Argentina. Right. So all of a sudden, it was all very close. Argentina was fighting to win the rugby championship this weekend, yet they ended on third.
That's crazy. That's wild. That's
And
insane.
people were talking about them having the potential to win it. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like this rugby championship was magic. This was a lot closer than people want to give it credit for. I think it
Mm.
was a great one, and I think it was a great advert for rugby. Like the games were good. Name one game that was just dire, except for the Wallabies South Africa second game that was just torrential rain. Like,
Yeah, no, that
what do
yeah,
you
but that was
expect?
still fun considering the considering the weather. That was still a fun game. The only thing we need
Hmm.
to fix with the rugby championship, and it's not the players, it's the social media team. We've all spoke about it. All the videos
Oh,
have gone around. Get that sorted.
yeah, I'm pretty sure, right? They were like, we are going to take a fat piss on this thing, and we are going to run with it. Like people will judge us, but it gets eyes on this thing. Like the feeling that I got from it was like some grandma sat there and they went to like the young boy and they were like, look at the graphic that I made. And it's just like you feel so proud of that. Like these little things that bothered the absolute shit out of me. I'm not even talking about the wrong lineups under the wrong team from 2019 or something.
Yeah.
The fact that the graphics, right, is all just like squares close to each other with this blue background just everywhere. And the Wallabies gold is not the same gold as the frame. That's the stuff that bothers me. Like at least have your colors correct or have the logo at least in HD. You
Yeah.
look at the captions. I mean,
That's just
those captions. What are we doing? What are we doing? I
don't
mean,
know.
I'll do it for the rugby championship.
Yeah.
I'll make the best fucking graphics you've seen in your life.
Get you,
Oh
get
my
Emma,
goodness!
get all the team on it. Get everyone here from the Casual Bias Network.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I couldn't believe it, but somehow I liked it because it gave me something to look forward to. Right during the week, I was like, well, "What blunder will they be making this week?"
Hmm. It's almost like
I mean,
they almost done it on purpose. Yeah.
how much did you like it? Right after a game, 12 hours later,
12 hours.
you get the full time score. 12 hours later.
Yeah. I mean, see if you're not on TikTok, if you don't like follow me, you, Ella, Rugby Knows, anything like that, you're screwed. You don't know the result till the next day.
Those people that like work on a Saturday and like don't want to know the score, just follow the rugby championship
Yeah, you'll be
team
fine.
because
Yeah.
you'll probably watch the game about 12 hours later or the next morning, and then they'll
There you
post it
go.
after that.
There you go. Yeah, sorted. Anyway, Club rugby has returned in the meantime. We've missed a couple of rounds over here, but it's fine. We've not missed much. It's still the start of the season. Would you like to start the Prem or the URC?
I don't want to talk about the URC. Let's go with the Prem.
Go for the Prem. I'm hurting either way, to be honest with you, so it's fine.
No, I'm just
But
sad.
starting off with an absolute banger on Friday night from round two of the Premiership, Gloucester versus Bristol. 44-41 to Gloucester. Christian Wade back in the Prem, hat-trick hero. This game was nuts. This had
Do you think
everything, and it was so much fun.
do you think Chris Ashton has the shits at the moment with the most tries?
I, so I've heard that if Christian Wade's like 2 or 3 off Ashton wants to come out of retirement.
No, that's stupid.
I
The
know it's
records
stupid, but I think it's quite funny.
are there to be broken. Listen, obviously, I've said this before that we don't get the broadcasting rights to
Mm.
the Prem, but like I followed pretty closely on Twitter, so I see the updates and everything. And dude, every time I refreshed my Twitter or my X, I just saw a score update the whole time. And I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those guys that like judged the Prem. Well, not last season, like a few seasons ago, it's like this low scoring ball fest and whatever. Last season was a great season.
Yeah,
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like here and there, we maybe get a game and I watch it. Um, but like the scores that you see and the close games and like just the game is good. The game looks good in the Prem at the moment. It's an enjoyable watch. It's made me a fan. It's
it's
made me a
fun.
fan.
Yeah.
And that was a banger. That is a proper way to start off the match week.
The
If you
funny
have a
thing
Friday
is,
night banger like that.
when I was reading the fixtures going into that round, I seen it. I was, I'll have it on because it's Friday night. I wasn't like going to be too excited about it, like on paper. And yeah, I was completely wrong after the Philly. I really enjoyed it. It was
What
a
did
lot of
you
fun.
think of what did you think of this? The little send off to
Oh, the
Illis
little shithouse
Gage.
wave. I loved it. That was class.
How old is that guy?
Like 18, 19 years old, and he's absolutely
Oh,
dominating Ellis Genge.
the fucking elite. That is elite. I like that. I like a bit of argy bargy. I like a
Yeah.
fight in a rugby game. We saw it today, right? The news coming out of Johnny Sexton and Rico Ioane. Now I just want more interesting press conferences. I'm tired of this bullshit where we listen to, oh, we respect it. And go out. It's a physical sport. We want to smash them. We want to have a statement victory. That's why I say Eddie Jones is an international treasure. Not in terms of him as a coach. I think he's a great coach, but he's definitely past it. But he just said what he felt like. And
That's
that's
it,
how you
yeah.
have to feel. And this, yeah, the game is respect. Respect them after the game. Respect after the game.
Mm,
Get people watching. I mean, Eddie Jones, if there's one thing that he did, is he got people watching.
mm.
And I want to see more of that.
Well,
I absolutely love it. I love a bit of shithousery. That's what
just
again.
I think it was right. It was just something so silly because like Ellis Genge was just getting substituted off. That was all it was. And see ya.
Yeah. Do you remember when was it? Was it last year? 2 years ago when Ibn Etzebet grabbed Alan Alatua, right? That
Yeah,
moment got so many views. But you know what got more views as well? Them sharing a beer afterwards.
yeah.
Because now all of a sudden you get two scenarios that both get you views instead of zero scenarios that get you nothing. Get you nothing. So yeah, I absolutely love that. And we saw Illis Ginge and what's the guy's name?
Um, I
Doesn't
don't
matter.
know.
Doesn't even matter. We saw them shaking hands. We saw them having a little bonding time after the game. That's what the game's all about. You are fierce competitors on the field, and then afterwards, yeah, argy bargy
Yeah,
done.
absolutely. Yeah, so that was an absolute barnstorm on the Friday night. Saturday, we had 3 games. We had Harlequins beating Newcastle, but Newcastle, they've still not won yet. We're still very early on, but they already look a lot better than what they did last year. Like they've got a bit more grit
Yeah.
about them.
Are they the San Marino of rugby? San Marino never won an international rugby game, football game
San Marino, yeah.
until
They were last season, yeah.
and yeah, but it's going to be a massive occasion when
Thing is,
Newcastle
though,
can't win the
Newcastle,
game. If you
historically,
if you had to put
Newcastle
your
are
money
like,
on it, who do they beat? Who does Newcastle beat?
don't know at this point. That's the hard bit.
Yeah.
Thomas. before the Friday night game, I would have said Gloucester.
Yeah, probably.
But now I'm not so sure. Maybe Bristol, maybe Leicester. I don't know. There's who knows. It's weird, but yeah, Quins get a comfortable win, 28-14 over Newcastle. Saracens took Sale Sharks to the Cleaners, 45-26 to Saracens, which we don't like. We don't like Saracens winning on the show. Anyway, then my heart breaks because we went to the champions, Northampton Saints, doing what Northampton Saints do. 30 points to 24 against my beloved Exeter Chiefs. I'll take the losing bonus point. In hindsight, I'll take it because Saints were sensational. They were 30-10 up at one point, and then we just were like, let's just try and get something out of this. And we
It's
did.
a,
So it was lost. Yeah.
it's the ultimate sin what Saints have done to their logo. That is what I
Oh,
took away
yeah.
from it all. Like they had a gem of a logo.
Mm.
What are they doing? They deserve to lose every single game with that bum fluff that they just put on their jersey. I know it's been announced a while ago and whatever, but I never had my say on it. We're talking
What's
about
that?
the Premier. It is shite. It is terrible.
That is, yeah.
It has to be one of like overall, it's probably not a bad logo, right? But in terms of what it was and
Yeah.
what it is now,
Mhm.
the drop off. Wow. Disgusting.
I think what, because they tried to explain what it is. So it was like, it's meant to be the original logo from when like Northampton Saints were founded in like 1899. I'm like, yeah, but what is it?
Yeah, it seems like they've found the biggest load of dump in the world.
Fair enough. So Divan's not a fan of the logo. Nobody is. I've not seen any like positive
I
feedback
love the
on it
kit
yet.
though. I love that green, gold, black kit.
Mm.
I'm a big fan of Northampton's kit. It's just not the badge.
Just too bad, yeah.
Yeah,
Get tape over it. Yeah.
yeah.
Last but not least,
Deserves to be
Leicester
spat
Tigers.
on.
Say that again?
Deserves to be spat on.
Fair enough. Final game of the Prem for round two. Leicester Tigers getting a narrow defeat to Bath, 20 points to 15 to Bath. This was just a really meh game. That's the best way I can
Mm,
describe it. The highlight was actually a squirrel going on the pitch.
yeah.
Sadly, Ollie Hassel Collins had like an easy try and dropped it. Finn
How's Finn
Russell didn't
Russell
have his
looking?
kicking boots on. Yeah, it was just a mess of a game.
Yeah, but it feels like I haven't obviously not watched a lot of Leicester Tigers, but they usually just when I watch Leicester Tigers, it's like it's not going to be an exciting game. Like it doesn't feel like there's a lot of excitement around the way that they perform. Just feels like a slow game. I remember what was it last season when they played Newcastle Falcons. Even that was a black game. Like it was sensational that it went to like 98 minutes, but yeah, overall, like I see Leicester Tigers. If there's one team that I would never watch, if I had the option, if they said, gun to my head, you're never allowed to watch this team, I'd pick Leicester Tigers because I just feel like you get nothing from it.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, before we move on, can we predict round three? Because
Yeah, let's
there's
do
some
it.
juicy fixtures here. Two bangers on the Friday night. They're spoiling us this week. Sale Sharks hosting Gloucester.
Is that the Age of Bell?
That's a AJ Bell, yes.
Yeah, I'm going so. They'll bounce
Yeah,
back.
but yeah. I, I think Gloucester will run them close, but yeah, I think the AJ Bell Sale just turn it up that little bit more.
Yeah, they'll back Age of. Ugh, I'll
Yeah.
back so.
Yeah. You still on that? Are you still on the? You have to back Sale, are you?
Yeah, but I also yeah, yes, 100%. But I also I think like I don't rate Gloucester that I don't think they're a bad team at all.
Hmm,
But it kind of gives me that performance of last weekend is kind of like that one-off performance, and then it's tough to back that performance up twice in a row. You've seen it so
that's
many
fair.
times with people like, oh, well, this team's gonna do amazing after 1 week's performance, and then it's like, okay, back to reality. Because you literally just said like if there was ever a team that you thought would beat Newcastle would beat, it would be Gloucester. I
Yeah.
just think at the AJ Bell, there's a lot of big boys with Sale. They'll probably want to bounce back after that defeat against Saracens. Yeah, I'll back Sale.
That's fair. Northampton Saints hosting Harlequins.
That
It's
is
fun.
saucy. Oh, I wish I could watch that game. Um, I'm going Saints.
Mm.
They're very strong.
Yeah,
Obviously,
I'm
Harlequins,
gonna go.
no Andre Estrazen, so they don't have that. They did. I'm not convinced by that scoreline against Newcastle Falcons because that game was pretty close for large
Sure,
parts,
yeah,
wasn't it?
no. And Newcastle did open the score in that game as well, so
Yeah, yeah. Saints will get it done. Saints
thanks for getting
beat
done.
Exeter. That's a very good team. They'll get it done. Obviously, defending champions as well. So
Yeah, I can't disagree there. They're at home. They're starting to cook now. They lost to Bath in the opening round, but they're proper hammering home now. So yeah.
yeah.
Next game, Saturday afternoon, Bath versus Bristol.
Oh, that's saucy.
That could be fun. That could be a lot of fun.
Mm. How's Finn Russell been playing?
He played really well in the first game against Northampton and didn't play so great against Tigers. But I don't think anyone really particularly played amazing in that game. So,
Mm.
but he's at
Bath.
home.
They're playing at home. I'm going Bath.
Bath at home, yeah. I think it'll be a high scoring game.
Bristol's always an exciting game. I've seen a couple of their games. It usually feels
Bristol
really
hurt
exciting.
my head though. Like Bristol are a good team and they're fun to watch, but they just don't get the job done.
Yeah, that's why I'm backing Bath.
There you go. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm back in Bath. I
I'm
think
backing
Bath.
Bath to win the Prem this year as well.
Yeah, I think. Well, if you take all the bias out of it, yes, I've got Bath going the Prem.
Yeah.
Newcastle host Tigers. There you go. It's the one game you said you don't want to watch.
I'm going Newcastle. I'm going Newcastle. I'm going with the
Got
upset
Newcastle?
victory. Playing at home. Previous time they met, took it to the wire. This time, getting it over the line. I'm going Newcastle. It's probably going to be Tigers, but they're boring. I want to get some interesting shots out there. I'll go Newcastle to have that massive upset victory.
Massive upset victory.
Hang
I
it in,
like it.
Lovren.
I don't hate it, but I'm going to play the pantomime villain now. I'm going to say Tigers get a scrappy win.
If they win, it's going to be scrappy. No matter who they
It's
play, yeah.
never it's never a pretty win when Tigers do it. Finally, on the Sunday, Saracens versus Exeter Chiefs. Come on,
Hmm.
I'm ready.
I
I
like that.
never back Saracens.
I'm still gonna back Saracens,
Oh, you
but that'll
stop.
be that'll be a good game. I would like Exeter to win it. I'm not a big fan of Saracens. Um, but yeah, I'd back Saracens. Obviously, they got the massive victory over Sale this weekend.
Hmm.
They've got the big names. Yeah, but Exeter is
Ah,
definitely more fun to watch, aren't they?
they might not have the big names. I'm sure Maro told you and all that like went off. So who knows?
Hmm. That's a game changer because Atoje is amazing for Saracens.
And he is captain as well. So
Yeah, I'm still backing Saracens though.
I just suck. No, I'm backing my team. Chiefs for the win. If there's one game we want to win, it's always Saracens. So let's get it done, dusted.
Yep.
Take it. Anyway, URC. We're all gonna grieve together on this one. We're just gonna rattle through it though, because there's a lot of games, but there's a lot to talk about. Friday night, Glasgow demolished Benetton 42-10. Champions Clinic.
Yeah,
Simple.
literally took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, clinical. That is so good. I was so impressed.
Uh,
That's how you bounce back after a bit of controversy around your
mm,
name. Defending champions comes back, loses their first game, but then you beat a respectable Benetton team. Yeah,
to be fair, Benetton's discipline was shocking. They went down to 12 men.
yeah, but they got hammered like
Oh, they were
ever.
getting beat long before that. Yeah, the game was
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Leinster beat Dragons 34-6. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm stunned.
Cool.
Not.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Well, the Dragons actually somehow kept it a bit closer than I expected in the first half, and then Leinster just kind of got away in the second half. But I don't.
yeah.
That was never up for debate. Like we all knew
No.
Leeds was gonna smash them. So
Yeah, no, that's one game I kind of write off every season. Just, oh yeah, cool, that happened.
yeah,
On to Saturday. Lions beat Ulster 35-22. Good
what
performance by the Lions.
scintillating. Some of those boys, Quan Horn, great.
I like
Kate
Conor.
Voliter, who people he was seen as the future, but obviously when you 22 years old and you have an MCL, then an ACL, and then another knee injury, like people kind of forget about you. But I thought he had a great game.
Mm,
Obviously it was Werner Kork's game, first game back in South Africa. I thought he
yeah.
was pretty good for Ulster. But yeah, the Lions look good. They're very dangerous.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and in the end, like they did it pretty comfortably, in my opinion. They
Yeah,
looked
no, I
pretty
agree.
comfortable. They played some beautiful rugby. Yeah,
No, I don't want to talk about the next one, but we will. Bills win it off this 22-16 over Edinburgh. Fuck, we had it. We were so close. That annoyed the shit out of me.
you know what makes it worse, Murray?
Go
You
on
know
then.
what makes it worse? This was your one opportunity. You were at Altitude Rugby Club and you were in the lead. You were in the lead, right? And
No,
were you
well,
never in the lead?
I think we were in. I think we took the first kick at goal.
Oh, okay, but you were in the game. This was your opportunity. No
Yeah,
Springboks there. You had your boys there, and the Bulls still pull through, and they'll take it. They'll
they
take it.
will. Yeah. Thing is, right. I've tried to look at the positives. There was something like our scrum is actually very good this year. I know it's very early on in the season, but Edinburgh scrum looked very solid, which was a big issue last season. That was fine, but like switching off defensively does not help any team in any game. And hats off to friend of the show, Bota Chamberlain, for pulling this out. Beautiful 50-22. Picks it up. There's no Edinburgh defender. Pops it in quickly to Caden Moody. Gets a try. Yeah, high level rugby. I like that.
Mm.
Fair play. But
Yeah, the Bulls just don't lose at Loftus. And I mean, they did it without Gerard Steenekamp, Johan Grobler, Jan Hendrik Wessels, no Kurtley Arendse,
yeah, yeah, we're getting
no,
all the
it's
good ones our way and we're still lost.
Marco van Staden, Elrich Louw, like Ruan Orkia. I mean, this was your opportunity, Murray. Like, I'm not even a Bulls fan. I despise the Bulls. Like, it's my rival. But I gotta put respect on them. Like to beat a full strength Edinburgh team that has probably been ready for this game, right? There was pretty decent build up for this game. They got it over the line, and you gotta show respect to
They
them.
did. Hopefully we just plug on from this. Hopefully we hammer on now. But anyway, the biggest upset of the weekend, and we're all happy. It's such a good result. Zebra 42-33 over Munster.
East Munster, last season Sharks. This happened to the Sharks early on in the season. They never recovered. Munster was not convincing against Connacht. You know, this takes a lot away from that Connacht performance against Munster in that first game. Like, I know Connacht didn't win the game.
Yeah,
The fact that Zebra beat them by quite a healthy margin as well and put, what, 45 points on them?
42 points.
42 points. How can you not just feel happy for Zebra?
I'm really happy for Zebra. I was not expecting. We love it.
I mean, if anyone was expecting that, we would call them the most deluded people in the world. How is this possible?
If there's people predicting that, I want their lottery numbers.
Immediately.
Yeah, 100%.
Immediately. That was ridiculous. Like, I was watching the Springbok game
Yep.
and I was live on TikTok, and people just all of a sudden, like, there was a bunch of Irish guys that came into the live and they just kept spamming me that Zebra is beating Munster. And I was like, there's no way. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I turned the channel and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe that it's the truth. I
It's
couldn't
so
believe it.
well.
It's crazy. That
So
has to
happy
be
for them.
one of the upsets of the century.
Oh, yeah. Hands down.
Zebra don't win games. They are literally Newcastle Falcons and they beat one of the favorites. That's what are we talking about?
There you go. There's a game. Would you watch that? Would you watch Zebra versus Newcastle Falcon?
Oh, I think that would be a great game, to be fair.
Be quite fun.
The Battle of the Shits are always a good game.
Battle of the shits. But
Yeah,
yeah, fair play Zebra. I can't stop smiling. It's so good for the league. It's so good for Zebra. So good for Italian rugby. It's all good. It ticks all the boxes.
Yeah, but now they have to kick on because
Oh,
last
but
season
we
they
know
looked
they
good.
won't.
But they looked good at the start of last season. They didn't get the results, right? But then they got that win over the Sharks, and people were like, okay, that's interesting. We didn't expect them to put on a winning streak or whatever, right? But just kick on and put up good performances. But after the win, they just went crashing down. Like you almost forgot that we were bigging up Zebra at the start of the season. That's how bad they crashed down.
Yeah, I
I
remember us
want them to
thinking,
just kick on, put up performances against some of the boys, you know, make it something interesting. The Italian rugby is rising. Zebra's got to rise with it.
100%. Yeah, I agree with that. Well, Welsh derby though, and a comeback in that Cardiff beating Scarlets 24-15. Scarlets were 15-0 up. They
Couldn't
scored
believe it.
13 seconds into the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck
I
it.
had Cardiff to take this one pretty easily. Like the scoreline doesn't reflect that it wasn't an easy game at all. But
No.
credit to Cardiff because it was 15-0 and
Yeah.
they brought it back to 25-15.
How annoyed would you be as Scarlets head coach though for
Well, I'd be kicking myself.
that? Speaking of big comebacks, Connacht, big win over the Sharks, 36-30. What an effort. What a second half.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually called Connacht to win this game
Yeah, so
against the Sharks because obviously the Sharks they've got so many Springboks not available. They just won the Curry Cup, so they were probably still on the purse getting into Ireland. Um, but I was very impressed by Connacht. I wasn't able to watch this game because obviously I watched the dreadful disaster class that we will not be talking about at all. We won't say a single word about it. Um, but yeah, like I was very impressed by Connacht against Munster. I did watch like maybe here and there a bit, but well
mm,
done to Connacht. Like obviously that's a massive victory. You know, they're looking good. They're looking like a good team. That nine, he's incredible.
so good. I believe he's on the emerging Ireland squad as well, or he's meant to be going on it, so that's
Yeah, he's
quite
both
promising.
him and Casey were amazing in that first week. Like it
Mm.
was a proper felt like a battle of the nines.
Oh yeah. Pierce O'Connor coming in from Bristol Bears for their midfield. What a signing. Nobody really talked about it, but,
Mm,
yeah, unreal.
yeah. It's always cool when you see like a coach going to like a team that doesn't really get all the hype. Like when we talk about the Irish, you usually talk about Leinster and Munster. Connacht's looking on fire. They are
Yeah,
looking good. But only 2 weeks in,
I know.
obviously, but you can only
It's
judge it
really
on what
weird.
you've seen.
This is a bit of the season I don't like because it's hard to say, oh, they're really on form or they're on fat. Do you know what I mean?
Because you could look like an idiot come end of the season.
Yeah, we
Because
can eat
teams
our
could
words
just
very
drop off
fast.
completely.
I'm I'm just going to say the score and I'm just going to move on because I don't want to upset you.
It's fine, we can talk
Ospreys beat the
about it.
Stormers 37-24.
Yeah, embarrassing. Get Monty Lubbock back into that team immediately. Get him back into that team. Zero creativity in that game. I thought, like, if you go into this weekend playing against the Ospreys, knowing we lost to them at Cape Town Stadium because we were too relaxed about it, that we'd actually go and put up a performance. Credit to the Ospreys, right? They were good. They were very good. They're nine as well. Amazing.
Ruben Morgan Arms. Get him in the Wales team.
Where
Sorry,
there
I
was
have to say that.
zero creativity from our side. It was an embarrassing performance in my opinion.
Mm.
But obviously, you can't use this excuse because the Bulls beat, for instance, Edinburgh, but like the Stormers, like our vital players gone,
I
and
know.
we look clueless without Marnie. We look clueless without Evan Roos there, and those type of boys. So it was just disastrous. I had no words to describe that game. Well done to Ospreys. I'll just leave it there.
There you go. Predictions for round three of the URC. Starting off, Friday Night Lights, Cardiff hosting the champions, Glasgow Warriors. That could be a fun game.
Yeah, but Glasgow, they'll get it.
I imagine Glasgow win it.
Yeah, thing is like Cardiff never lose by much. I think this game ends up being a pretty tight one. Like I'm going
Mm,
Glasgow to win it by 8 points, eight, nine
that's fair.
points.
Yeah, I agree with that. Scarlets versus Connacht.
Oh, Connacht by
Yeah.
smashing.
By how much?
By smashing.
Oh, by a smashing. Sorry, I thought you put a number in there as well.
Yeah. They've put up two good performances, and I think they need to get a comfortable victory now. Scarlets, how can you have a comeback against Benetton and then throw away a massive lead against Cardiff? I think Connacht exposes them. I think Connacht takes it pretty comfortably.
That's fair. On to Saturday. Still at altitude. The Lions versus my team, Edinburgh. Come on. Come on. Surely fix the wrongs from last week and fucking beat the Lions.
No, listen, don't get me wrong. I actually like Edinburgh. I'm not I like if I didn't support South Africa or whatever, like if I just had to be a neutral, I could see myself supporting Edinburgh. I do like the vibe around Edinburgh. But at the moment, the Lions are even better than the Bulls. They've got that team chemistry. They were Currie Cup finalists. They
Yeah.
don't have any Springboks or anything away. They'll be ready. They're playing at home.
Oh, it's not going to
Look,
be easy, but
no,
I need a win, Divan. I need it.
obviously Edinburgh will be more acclimatized. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, I'll go Lions to win this game. They're just playing such nice rugby at the moment. The way that they play, it's just beautiful to watch. Why wouldn't I back my that's the one
Yeah,
team, the Lions is the one team in South Africa that everyone wants to do well. Like it's almost
soft
everyone's
spot.
second choice team.
Just a little soft spot for him. I understand that. That's fair. Still, at altitude, Bills versus Ulster.
But what are you going with the Lions game? What's your prediction?
I'm going for Edinburgh to win it.
By how much?
3-5. I don't actually care how much by.
Another Ali Price disaster class?
No, no. Please tell me you see my video today.
I like Ali Price.
I like right.
But the guys,
This is a really
I've never seen a nine have a as bad game as he did against Leinster in that first game.
this is
Wow.
the bit that hurts. I love Ali Price. I love what he's done for Scotland. I loved him on the Lions tour. But Ben Velcott needs to start for Edinburgh.
Yeah,
He just needs. He
has
just
to. Yeah.
brings so much pace to the game that catches people off guard. And I understand that that would work when the team's not like the opponent is knackered, 20 minutes left. But when you're chasing the game, it doesn't help because then you're a
Mm,
bit more. You're too frantic. If you have Ben starting, you're catching them off from the word go, and then you can kind of slow it down a little bit.
yeah. No, I agree with you. I
Thank
agree
you.
with you.
I love Ali Price, but no, let Ben Velcott cook, please, because I need it. Yeah, Edinburgh by 3, 5, 10, 30. I don't care. One. Edinburgh by one. I don't care at this point. I need a win.
Yeah, yeah, you do.
Bills
You've
Ulster.
been performing too well to not have a win by now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've got three
It's just
points
too
out of
bad
two
you're gonna
games.
have three losses. Like
Shut
it's
up, you.
guaranteed.
I don't know why I invite you when you upset me like this.
I don't care
It's all
about
good.
upsetting people. It is what it is.
Just what South Africans do, isn't it? Just
Would you rather want me to comfort you with a lie?
the way it's going, yes. The way the results are going, yes.
Yeah, no, you'll win your first home match unless it's against the Stormers.
I knew that was coming. That's next week's. That's for next week's show. Anyway, Bills versus Ulster.
Um, oh, Bulls will win it. They won't have their Safas back. They might have Marco van Staden back though.
Mm,
It's still at Loftus, so
yeah.
like Ulster has been looking good. It's been looking okay. Um, got the massive upset over Glasgow. They pulled the lines. I wouldn't say they pulled the lines close, but they gave them some things to think about. But the Bulls should be too strong
Mm,
in this game. It's
fair.
Altitude Rugby Club. Yeah.
I can't believe that's catching on. Everywhere I
Mm,
go now, I hear it.
yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Next game, this is a weird one. This should be dead to rights, but I can't tell anymore. Dragons versus the Sharks.
No, Sharks will get it done.
Sure, that's what I'm thinking.
Shark,
Surely Sharks are winning that.
yeah, the Sharks aren't at the moment like bottle jobs. Like I think last weekend wasn't even strange to have Connacht win. Connacht is a good team at the moment. They're playing at home.
Yeah.
You're catching the Sharks right after they just won the Currie Cup. They definitely didn't train during the week really until they go up. I'm not using it as an excuse, but more just as like also a reason, like
Hmm.
those guys they were probably out partying and whatever. But now the Sharks have acclimatized. They will be ready, and the Dragons they aren't good.
No, no.
So yeah, Sharks should get it done.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that. Benetton versus Leinster.
Leinster by a beatdown. Benetton doesn't feel the same.
All right, now it doesn't. No.
No, they haven't looked good at all compared
Oh
to last
well.
season. No, they've not been there.
Yeah, I think that's fair, but I don't know. Just there's something that's not clicking with Benetton right now.
I'm pretty sure they'll get it right at some point. But yeah, it's Leinster. It's Leinster.
Zebra Stormers. I don't even know why I'm asking you.
I mean, I'm hoping and praying that Manya has flown over straight from South Africa, get on the plane, get there. Otherwise, I would not even put it past the Stormers to lose against Zebra. That's
Really?
like obviously I'm backing the Stormers, but Zebra just came off a brilliant performance against Munster.
Hmm.
I don't even want to know other people will be taking the piss with me if the Stormers lose to Zeros as well. Like, oh my word. It'll have to be another disaster class for us to do that. But I do believe like Dobbo would have been on the guys' case and saying like
Oh yeah.
that performance was unacceptable and they'll want to fix it this weekend. This could be the same as the Gloucester performance that I spoke to you about while we talked about the Prem, where it could be like a one-off for Zebra and now they get a bit cocky or whatever and they get smashed. Or they could actually turn the leaf. And if there was ever a team that if I had to predict them turning the leaf and putting on back-to-back solid performances, obviously it's going to be against the Stormers. But I'm backing the Stormers.
There you go. Yeah, I'm going Stormers. I think like what I said earlier, like
I
about
don't
like a
like this thing.
final.
We're playing against Zebra and you're saying, I think. Even I said, I think.
No,
I don't like it.
I've got Stormers winning, but I think because Zebra's done like their final, they gave everything against Munster, and like you said, they're going to get cocky. They're going to get smashed.
Let's hope so. Let's hope
If
so.
I will
Because all the
text
Safa
you.
teams are at the bottom because they didn't play in the first weekend, and I
I am
don't like
promising
it.
you now. If Zebra beats Stormers, I am texting you. Fully taking the piss.
I'm blocking you. I'll if it's even close, I will block everyone
Block
on
everyone's
everything
phones
on
off.
everything. I will not exist. I will go into a sabbatical and chill.
TikTok is away. Instagram, Snapchat,
Yeah.
WhatsApp, everything.
Gone.
Gone.
Gone. Don't even bother.
Final game for round three: Munster versus Ospreys. Over in Ireland.
Hmm. Hmm. Saucy. I like that because even though I spoke about how bad the Stormers were, I was very impressed by the Ospreys team. They
Mhm.
looked
Yeah,
good.
they were
They
good
looked
too.
very good. Munster's defense is fragile at the moment. Well, it just feels like that. It feels like they just conceded. Like, I mean, they conceded what, 30 points against Connacht, conceded
They
40 points against
did concede
Zebre.
to fair. Yeah,
That's not Munster.
no, no, that's not the Munster way.
I would like them to be the next Sharks, the Sharks of last season. I'm going Ospreys. Ospreys at home as well. Get
No,
some confidence from last week's performance against the Stormers.
Munster at home.
Munster at home. Okay, no,
Yeah,
Munster's winning. Munster's winning. I switch.
I,
Munster at home is different. Different
I,
gravy.
I'd like to see Ospreys even push them close.
I don't
Nice
want.
tight game,
I don't.
rubber
I
battle.
don't. No, because a close game means Munster get more confidence. It's like, yeah, we played bad, but we got over the line. That gives you confidence. No, lose. I want Munster to lose. I don't want to be the
Fair
only
enough.
team that loses against the Ospreys. That's embarrassing.
It's the start of the season. Ospreys have many other games.
Yeah, but still, it's a Welsh team. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
No,
No.
I'm going Munster to win.
Yeah, I'm going Munster to win as well. Because if it was at the Ospreys, I'm going home ground advantage.
Fair enough, understandable. Final competition that started up this week, WXV 1, 2, and 3. For those that don't know, is like the women's tests, international fixtures, three tournaments all running at the same time. And it's just fun. It's awesome. This year it's got World Cup qualification at stake. There's a lot of juicy fixtures, so I'm just going to run through them. WXV3 is kind of, I would call it the unknown. I can't see many people knowing about these teams, knowing these players, but rugby's rugby, so they get credit. First off, Spain beating Madagascar, there you go, 83-0. Bloody hell.
Spain, even in the men's game, like, and in the sevens especially, like they've picked up on rugby. I wouldn't say it will be too long until we actually see Spain in on the same level as like Portugal are at the
So,
moment.
I
The
mean,
the
technically,
growth
they were
the
meant to
growth
be
of the
there
game there
last
has
year.
been very impressive.
No, they were meant to be there last year, but they got done for cheating.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So
and then it wasn't even like drastic cheating, really, was it?
they did field an ineligible player.
Okay, but one player doesn't like change the. Like, I'm not
I
saying they
don't know.
shouldn't have been
I
banned.
don't read into it. I just
Yeah, but even if what has been said and what they found out is true, it's not all of a sudden that he's the reason that they all of a sudden got better. Like their rugby's
I
gotten
know,
better,
no, I know.
and I love the
100%.
growth that we see in countries like Spain, Uruguay, those type of
Mm,
countries that aren't really like rugby crazy. So it's good. I enjoy
that's
it.
good. Saturday we had Fijiana, so Fijian women's team beating Hong Kong China 38-3. That sounds about as expected as it would be, even on paper.
Yeah.
Then we had a draw from two, I wouldn't say powerhouses. One's a big up and comer, and it's their first ever WXV comp. Netherlands and Samoa, 8 all, 8-8.
Netherlands and Samoa.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about women's rugby, right? But the
sounds
Netherlands in
wild.
rugby drawing to Samoa.
Yeah,
Oh,
and Samoa
that's
took a
lovely.
last minute convert. It was a late. It was the last convert kick of the ball to draw the game. Netherlands were winning.
Oh, that is horrible. I hate it when they kick for a draw. Go
Kick for a
for
draw.
the win. A draw is
No,
a
no, no. Like
loss.
it was, they scored a try, and then it was a conversion to the draw, so they couldn't.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. My bad.
Yeah, no, it
As
wasn't a
you
pen.
can
It
tell,
wasn't a.
my first language is not English. I was just like heard a conversion,
No, it
right? For
wasn't. It
some
wasn't
reason,
a
I thought
cop
it's
out.
a
Don't worry.
penalty.
But yeah, that was WXV3. So that's the lowest tier in this competition. WXV2 heating up a bit more, got a bit more teams in the known to say. Devin, you'll be happy with this. South Africa,
Yeah.
31-24 over Japan.
Yeah, and that victory also meant that our woman has gone into the highest rankings that they've ever been.
There you go.
Just beautiful.
Happy days.
History making victory.
Love it. Also, I don't know her name, but your winger with the sidestep, sensational work. That was
I
filthy.
don't know her name either. But
I'll send you it. It was nice. It was really nice. Big old scoreline on this one. Australia beating Wales 37-5. Massive for the Aussies. What's interesting,
Aussie rugby on the up again.
on the up, they played each other 3 weeks ago in like a warm up, and Wales got the win.
Oh my word. World Cup in reverse because the men's, the Wallabies, Wales smashed them in the World Cup. They travel to the Wallabies. Couple
Did
months
they?
later, get beat
There you
in a
go.
series. There you go. How
Times have
quickly the
changed.
game turns, huh? How
Mm,
quickly the turns table.
mental. And final game, I was very happy with this. Defending WXV2 champions Scotland beat Italy 19 points to nil. Come on, love that.
Yeah,
Nice
fair
clean
enough.
sheet.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. How good's the Italian team?
Um, they used to have our number. They've kind of dipped a little bit,
Mm.
but I'm happy
I,
that
I,
this feels like the
I,
first time in a while we've had two wins over them back to back. So
Yeah, the thing is, like, I don't even. I've never watched a women's rugby game, right? But obviously, I want to see the sport grow and stuff. I love the coverage that it's been getting all over social media. Like you see,
Yeah,
even like independent creators really focusing in on the women's game. It's sensational.
I love it.
I love just the growth of rugby. I know there's a lot of people that are like, "A women's game, who cares about that?" It doesn't matter, right? Like they are doing what they love, and they're playing the game that we love. So why
Exactly.
not just show it a bit of love? You don't need to watch it necessarily,
Hmm.
but I love the fact that people are just covering it as well because I know there's an audience for that as well. So beautiful.
No, I love women's rugby. I'm not just saying that because I'm looking at the result. I genuinely love it. I got my big break on social media from the Women's Six Nations. I've interviewed a lot of female players. Yeah, awesome stuff. Always
Mhm.
fun. And it's different. Don't do the same mistake I used to do. So I used to think like Springboks are really good. South Africa women must be good. And then you see the results like, oh, right. And then you'll read into it all. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's completely different.
Totally
Completely
different.
different.
But finishing off with the big guns, WXV1, the top tier, the main event. The Red Roses, England, ran riot over USA 61-21. They're
Wow,
on they have not lost a game since the World Cup final in 2022.
crazy.
They are just on an absolute tear. Ellie Kildone, best player on the planet by a mile and just having a field day with it.
Yeah.
The next one, now if you're not into women's rugby, this is a shock. If you're into women's rugby, it's not as shocking. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Canada, 46-24 victors over France.
I like the fact that Canada and USA are in the tier one thing.
Tier one,
That's
yeah.
good.
It's done on qualification. You qualify for the top tiers and second tiers and all that.
Oh, wow.
So for
I
WXV1,
like
which is the
that.
top tier, it's the top three teams from the Women's Six Nations and the top three teams from the Pacific Four Nations. So there,
So,
nice and easy.
so Scotland in the men's one would be in tier three.
What? No, no, shut up. You actually had to make me think about that. Like, no, no, number three is weird because it's all about like the champions of Africa, and it's like
Oh yeah, Scotland couldn't be there. They're champions
no,
of
we can't be
nothing.
there. No,
Champions of nothing.
we do take South Africans, but we don't qualify for African Cups yet. Not we've not got that many yet.
Yeah. Well, one day you'll be part
One
of
day we'll
the
get there.
African Cup of Nations,
Yeah.
and soon you'll see the Irish Haka as well. And that's the thing.
But yeah, there you go. Canada beating France 46-24. It was a physical game. Love it. Ran away
Yeah,
with it. But best for last, the biggest upset, Ireland beat the defending world champions, the Black Ferns, 29-27. And what makes this even more insane,
massive.
Ireland were in WXV 3 last year. They were in the third tier of this competition last year.
What's bigger upset, that or Zebra Monster?
Hmm.
Because Zebra beat Munster comfortably. Like, obviously, this is a bigger occasion, right? Like, that's massive. You've just beaten the world champions and you were, but like, which one is more of an upset?
Oh no, I might actually have to put a poll out on Instagram for that one on the pods page. There you go.
It is a saucy one.
There you go. We'll do that. There you go. There's a new thing this week. The biggest
I-
upset.
like, how much, if you had to put it in percentage, like from 0 to 100, how likely was Zebra to beat Munster?
10%, if I'm
I
being
would go even
generous.
less. I would go like 6%. But
Right.
how likely were they to beat them comfortably?
Oh, comfortably. Like,
Zero. Well, 0.1 because
there's
they
always a
just.
point one. Always. Yes.
And then you ask the same question about the New Zealand one. But anyway, like I love an upset like that. That is
Love
massive.
it.
Like
So good.
obviously South Africa and Ireland's got a rivalry, but that I love an upset.
Oh,
That is great. That is scintillating. I'll actually go and watch the highlights on that one.
it
Was it
was
a
fun.
good game
Yeah.
as well?
Hmm?
Was it a good game as well?
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Okay,
I
yeah,
feel like I think if you're a Black Ferns fan, you might be hard done by because they did have 3 tries denied.
rightfully denied.
I think so. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think there was
well,
any.
then you can't moan about it. Like we
I
had
don't think
tries
there was any
disallowed. Yeah,
controversy around
well,
it.
should have scored it legally.
Yeah, there was. I think it's the way the commentator says it as well, which, if you're a Black Ferns fan, didn't help your case. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was good. We've got next week for WXV1, we've got USA versus France. I have a funny feeling France will win that. But Canada Ireland next week is huge now.
Mhm. I'm
And
going
then
with
you've got a
Canada.
repeat of the World Cup final. You've got England versus New Zealand.
I'm going England to win,
Mhm.
and I'm going Canada to win. The same as we said earlier, it's that one performance.
That one performance.
Then, like that might have felt like a final, and Canada will kick on massive performance against France. Just think
Okay.
like obviously I'm talking now, but I've never seen a game.
No,
But
no.
I know
Canada stuff.
England, the Red Roses, it's always been them and the Black Ferns, really, right? Like that is the two teams. That's why they've got to tour those two as well, isn't it? Like at some
Black
point.
Ferns just got beat by Red Roses 3 weeks ago at
Yeah. So,
Twickenham.
so, so yeah, because it was quite the upset when the Black Ferns beat the Red Roses because they were quite by quite a margin
Yeah,
like the favourites
yeah,
in
it was a
the
weird
World Cup
one
final.
because Black Ferns have
A
won like
red card
four.
controversy as well.
Yep. So they're like
I'm going
four
Red
World Cups
Roses.
on the bounce. But going into that tournament, England were the favourites, and then Black Ferns won it. So yeah, there's a lot of proper heated rivalry
Have,
in that.
have the Black Ferns won 5 World Cups on the bounce?
Yeah.
Word.
No, 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 no. Sorry, no, they haven't. Shut up. Ignore me. They've won 14, 18. 3 on the bounce.
Okay.
England won it in 2010.
Okay. So
There you go.
those are the two teams that have kind of just dominated the scene.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Red Roses.
cool. Do you want to predict the one that we're in, WXV2, while you're at it?
Sure. I
Cool.
can't even
Why not?
remember the results, but we'll give it a
You're all
little
good.
go. Yeah, bro.
Wales versus
I'm
Italy.
eating full house this weekend, by the way.
You what?
I'm eating full house on all the predictions. Prem, URC, and
Yeah,
women.
it's not all up.
Full
Yeah,
house, baby.
it's a season opener. We need all the predictions.
There you go. Give it to me.
Wales versus Italy.
Italy.
Don't know. They're both not great at the moment. I'll say
Who's-
Wales just to be different.
Well, that doesn't help. Yeah, okay, well, I'll just stick with Italy. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's not a wrong. There's no wrong decision there. Japan versus Scotland. I'm going Scotland. We beat them last year. We're going to retain that title. Yeah, Scotland for the win.
Hmm, I'll agree with you.
Okay, thank you for that. This one's interesting. South Africa versus Australia.
Obviously, I want to back my country, but I know our women's game isn't necessarily the greatest. And
I know
Australia,
it's Australia.
they're pretty okay, right? Australia is a decent team.
They are
But
a
I'm
good
backing my
team.
girls. I'm backing my girls.
Good.
You're backing your girls. We just got into the highest position we've ever been. Time to
Yeah.
kick on. Give me.
I actually
What
forgot to
is
say
the
that about
South
Scotland. We're
African women's team even called?
yeah, South African.
What is the South African women team called? Springboks women?
Yeah, you're not just the. Yeah, they're not. You're just not the Springboks women.
I don't know. I don't
How
know.
do you not know? You're South African.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm sure it just
it's
says
bad.
Springboks
It's
women.
bad, obviously, but I don't know.
Yeah, Springboks women. Springboks women.
Okay, yeah,
That's what.
backing the
Yeah,
Springboks women.
there you go.
Give it to me by 20 points.
Oh, oh shit. I'm going to back the Wallaroos.
Okay, I'm
Not the
back in Japan.
Wallabies, the Wallaroos. There's a difference.
Okay, I'm back in Japan now.
That's, yeah, fair. Fuck you.
Okay.
Understandable. But yeah, there you go. We've rattled off quite a lot in this season opener.
Yeah.
Because that's only because we've missed a few.
Good
That's
season opener for the Rugby Connection / hashtag Casual Bias
casual
Rugby.
bias rugby network. Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
Casually
Well,
Connected Rugby Network.
so wait a minute. So it's the fifth season for Rugby Connection, but it's like second season aligned with casual bias. There you go.
Yeah, it's the Casually Connected Rugby Pod.
That's a mouthful, but okay, we'll go for that. We'll sign off on
It's
that.
not about the Casually Connected Rugby Pod.
Casually connected rugby pod. Might need a new graphic for that one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
next week we've got Prem, URC, we've got WXV. There'll be some rugby news, I imagine, that isn't just what Rico Ioane called Johnny Sexton. I feel like there's got to be more news than that.
I mean, in the end, Rico Iani was just a nice guy and reminded him that he got a flight the next day. Like, was it's really that bad?
But he
Nice,
is
just
right. I don't know how it works in every other country, but when we use the C word, it's a term of endearment.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, not yet.
I'm not even joking you. So if I call you, if you were with me and bought me a drink, I would call you a good, and that means you're sound. You're all good.
You say it, yeah, and you'd get smashed.
Yeah, it
They'd
doesn't
probably
no, it does not translate
hit you
well.
with the bottle and stab you with it
Yeah,
afterwards.
no, it doesn't translate well.
What did you just call me?
Yeah,
Bang!
yeah, no,
No, that is stupid.
but if I just called you it, then it's not a term of endearment. You have to. There's ways to say it.
Okay, so it's in the way that you say it, not what you say.
Yeah, so like the way Rico said it wouldn't go well here either.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, sure. So it's just context. So if I
Yeah,
do something for you and you say that afterwards, shanana. If you just
yeah.
randomly say it or
If you
whatever.
bash into me and knock my beer, and I call you it, then yeah, different.
Mm-mm. That's probably how most fights in South Africa happen. It's just like a little
Context.
name calling. People
Fair.
just
Well,
get smashed.
we'll leave it on that because there you go.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
hopefully
people, bye.
you still up for Brett. I like that.
I steal everything.
Rugby Connection podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube page. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. If you like Divan, give him his page a follow on YouTube and TikTok. Both casual bias rugby. He knows how to stir the pot more on TikTok, though. I'll give him that.
Mm.
And if you like what I do, I'm on TikTok as well at Blissful Rugby. So please give me a follow because I'm so close to 10,000. It feels like it's been forever and a day, but we're getting there. The marathon, not a
Yep.
sprint.
Yep. Thanks for having me on, Blissful.
You're welcome anytime. See you again next week.
Ciao.
Ciao. See you later. Bye bye.